Well, there's no way I can justify this video's title without drawing attention, so I guess I might as well explain this in the best way possible without condoning harassment on anyone involved. Also, if you're hearing noise in the background, that's just my generator. I was gonna edit it out, but bleh. Anyway, let's start by explaining how I got here.
Whopper, 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 whopper.
For those who aren't aware of what the YRC is, it stands for the YouTube Reactionary Community. It's essentially a group of people that enjoy making reaction videos. I joined in late 2016 during this transitional period between Improbables Classic and the Neo Improbables branding. And I was invited by DTO, who I did date at one point, but they brought me into a Google Hangouts call, and I met plenty of other cool reactors like Cool Bard, who now goes by Tonio, ACT8113, the Zeratul Thing, who went by another name at the time, but it's not coming to me, and even Jodan54 himself. And when I was invited, I had some serious cred under my belt because I was, as you're all probably aware if you've been following me for years, the person that re-uploaded all the old Improbables episodes from 1 to 50. And to my pleasant surprise, when I separated myself from the whole Improbables thing and went in my own direction, they were quite supportive.
This was a triumph.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a really great time during my tenure in the YRC. We originally started out making calls in Google Hangouts to get together and chill out, which was fine in the beginning, but I quickly grew quite bored. So one day I started introducing the Jackbox Party Packs, which I had because, you know, Jackbox is pretty cool. And like, soon we were not only playing them in calls, but also in the Hangouts on Air live streams for YRC stuff. And it was really fun and exciting and really good for breaking the ice. Little did I know that this would be the beginning of something even greater. Something that we have retroactively started calling the Dsim Era.
Huge success.
The Dsim Era started with Dsim XD, a super fan of some of the reactors in our group, I think mostly Jodan. He showed up in the chat of one of our streams one day, and he was playing the games, and he was like a really cool guy. Sorry I can't give more details, but the whole thing's like a blur to me. You'll have to ask someone else. But suffice to say, we brought him into the Hangouts group and eventually the Discord group when Hangouts died. And he was an invaluable asset to us all. Like, not only did I like what he could pull off in terms of like graphic design and programming, but when he was able to build up the courage to reveal his voice to us, I'm not gonna lie, he sounded quite sexy. And eventually started like great things, like a long-running series of reaction and gaming content known as YRC Raw, and some podcast discussion stuff called YRC Smackdown, special monthly event live streams, and then there was that failed YRC gaming venture. I mean, we all contributed in our own way. Like, Tonio ran everything, and he named everything after the WWE shows. Well, he didn't run everything, but he ran everything that he could. And I contributed by inadvertently setting up a structure that kind of lets the whole group prosper from my pain and suffering. But Dsim contributed a lot, from the requester in Raw to the D-Troller in the monthly stuff. We just could not pull this off without him in the age that we were in. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, wow, the YRC sure sounds like they have lots of fun, so why'd you leave? Well, we had a really good run, but then we had a point where we couldn't keep any steady members. Like, people that were in there for a long time were dropping like flies. From, not only were we losing good reactors like DTO and Reactor himself, but the people we tried to get in couldn't stay long for one reason or another, like Tix and Eli and Nickmaster. Basically, it got to a point where the reaction started to suffer because we had a lot of stress and intensity in the back of our minds. It got to the point where when we didn't feel it, we just didn't do anything for the video, and that means we're basically stealing content, which is the last thing we, as good reactors, want to do. Like, we would never try to go out of our way to steal content. And don't even get me started on that stupid...
Now you're all dead stuff.
We ran Raw for over 150 episodes and SmackDown for over 100, and I left the YRC on good terms right after Dsim left on good terms, because simply we were all growing up and going our separate ways. Like, some of us have jobs and school to go back to, and we don't have time for this. And even someone like me, like, I needed more time to work on stuff IRL, like migrating the whole house to streaming media so that we could save money on television, and also some personal stuff like my own channel, this one, and my Twitch, because I'm starting to go live again. And where did everybody else go? Well, as far as I can tell, Ace now has ownership of the YRC, as far as we know, and what we don't know is what he's going to do with it. Last I heard from Tonio, he plans to rebrand the YRC live streams channel as something else to kind of keep it going with like new people and a new setup or something, but I'm still not sure what'll become of it. And Tix and Eli are both finding great success in making YTPs, and they might work together on something someday, who knows. And in regard to Dsim, well, you may not see the name around anymore, but let's just say this isn't the last that we're hearing from him.
Epilogue.
Basically, everyone else is off on their own channels doing their own things, and aside from that one person that's been trolling the YRC for a long time and still won't leave me alone when I do live stuff, all of our loose ends seem to be tied up, and we're all pretty satisfied. We're all still good friends with each other. There's no drama here. I'm sorry for disappointing you that we're not spilling some real saucy tea, but that's just the way it is. In the end, I see nothing but good things for us all. And, like, even though I'm kind of going through some stuff right now personally that I can't really talk about, I'm not going to let it get to me. Like, it's like Bandit from Bluey said in the Ragdoll episode, you get knocked down 7 times, and you'll get up 8. So thanks for watching and for giving me the opportunity to just talk about this, because I've been wanting to talk about this for days, and I was just waiting for the right moment where everything was settled and I had a solid grip of what was going on. And here's hoping I, in some way, shape, or form, by myself or with my friends, can continue to provide quality content and entertainment for you. And I'll see you next time whenever I feel like making literally anything else. I got some stuff coming, so stay tuned. Peace.